Central Florida, and the closest beach to us is actually Cedar Key or Horseshoe Beach on the west coast of Florida. It's up in the Panhandle, and it's really not a very good beach. It's not the kind of beach you would go lay out in the sand and when you think of as a beach. But the fishing's usually pretty good. In the past, we've done some. We've gone for what is it? Oysters?
No,
Oysters?
No, oysters for the scallops.
Scallops. We've gone scalloping, and that's a lot of fun. Where you go on a boat and Horseshoe and Cedar
Scalloping,
Key.
you have to dive down in the water and swim for the scallops and find them.
Right.
But shrimping, you get to do all from the top of the boat with a net.
So you do it in the scalloping's in about 3 feet of water. You jump off the boat and you just wear a mask and a snorkel and you swim around and you look for the scallops that are down in the weeds there. And you just pick them up. Their eyes kind of glow green. You just pick them up and throw them in your bag. The time we went, we thought we were going to get all these scallops and have a great, we were going to have roasted scallops for supper. And the kids were all excited about it. And of course, they got a few. But we got back and we didn't have nearly enough for supper, so we had to go out to the store and buy some to supplement.
Well, we didn't know. They're little bitty scallops.
Yeah, they're little, so it would take a ton of them to feed a family. But we had a great time. In any event, fast forward a couple years, and one of the things that we had going on since last time we were out, we had a friend of ours who is a general handyman, contractor, construction type guy, and he had done some work at our house while we were gone on our flooring. I laid the flooring in our house, but I'm not, a carpenter at all. So the finish work, I needed to have somebody else come and do the trim work and actually putting some tile up around our bar area, basically just finishing it out. So he came and he did that for us, as well as some other things. He put in some new canned lighting in our ceiling in both the hallway and in our family room, and it looks great. We're going to get the different bulbs. I think Brooke doesn't like the daylight bulbs. She wants some softer lights, so we're going to have him change those out, right? Okay. But and we still got to order fans, and we're arguing over.
But it's looking beautiful.
It's looking beautiful. Brooke wants some crazy $700 or $800 fans. I said she must think she must think her last name's Trump.
That's just what I keep finding, and then I look at the price. I'm like, oh, I don't want to spend $700 or $800 on a fan.
So she's looking for the $700 or $800 fans at a discount. Needless to say, the room is pretty much finished, but the fans have yet to be bought and put out. They have to settle on some fans.
But get back to the shrimping. We got to go shrimping.
Okay, back to the shrimping story. So I told you about our friend Kevin and his wife Cinnamon, and they invited us to go out on their boat, best kind of boats that there are, other people's boats, and go out and go shrimping with them. And when we were home, I said, what? This area isn't known for shrimping at all. And it really isn't, but for whatever reason, blame it on global warming or climate change. I don't know why, but this year the shrimp are coming into Horseshoe, where we went out of, and these are not like 1 or 2 inch shrimp. With the heads now, the shrimp were as long as my hand. I'm going to tell you, they were 6 or 8 inches.
When Kevin invited us to go on the boat with him go shrimping, he's like, "God, the shrimp are like this big," and I was like, "Okay, Kevin." Well, he wasn't fooling.
Yeah, we thought he was telling a fish story.
I'll have David put a picture in there for you, but they're pretty big.
Yeah, we got some
jumbo shrimp.
Great pictures and videos, and we went out, and believe it or not, when out there with a Florida fisherman's license, you're allowed to collect 5 gallons of shrimp a day. And we thought, maybe we'll go out there, we'll get a gallon or 2 at the most. Between the 4 of us, we got 5 gallons, which came up to about 9 pounds.
A little over 9
don't stop occurring at the house, meaning the grass and the weeds don't stop growing. And we have 2.5 acres, so even if we were there full time, this time of the year it would be hard to keep up with everything. So I was outside working, and finally on the we were toward the end of the week, and I just saw that we weren't going to get it done. And to top it all off, it looks like our old riding lawnmower may have finally blown up. And so Kevin, the guy that worked at our house, offered his son's home for the summer and cuts lawns, and we brought him over to the house and hired him for one day. And man, that kid just went to town. The place looks brand new. So we're going to have him come back probably one more time before he goes back to school. And the grass doesn't grow really in the wintertime, so we should be all right. But thank you, Zach, if you happen to see the video. And Kevin and Cinnamon, you guys have raised a fine young man there. He worked so hard, and he earned every bit of the money that...
Like, just suck the energy right out.
Yeah, that we paid him that day. I was envious. I was thinking, you know what? I used to be able to go like that. I'd say a couple years ago, but it's probably been longer than that. I always think I can do more than I can, but I guess my age is finally catching up with me, and I'm not ashamed.
You made it out to the chicken coop.
Yeah, we had work, some work that needed to be done. Cleaned the coop out for Brooke,
and the leaves off of the rooftops.
Got up on the roof. We had leaves that collect on the roof, and the sunscreen over our pool. So we got all that.
Paperwork and bills to do.
Paperwork and bills as usual.
When you think about all the stuff that we crammed into the week that we were home, we were almost anxious to get back out on the road again. The road almost seemed like fun. So.
I tell Brooke that after we've had home time several times now, showed what it looked like.
We
But
should take a video of the roads that we had to take it up.
yeah, it was crazy getting up here. The roads were on high hills and really skinny, and of course
The
Brooke
cliff
was
is that
driving,
big.
and I was on the right-hand side, and she thought she was too close to the yellow line on the left, and I thought she was too close to the cliff on the right. So I kept telling her to move over, and she kept trying to move over to the right. But you know how that goes.
She kept saying, I don't think we're supposed to be up here. Why would they build a farm up here? I think they need box trucks. They don't need semi-trucks.
Well, once you get up here and you see it, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, and the parking was easy.
The parking was easy, and guess what this one did today? She backed us in here like a champ. You hear the dock, it looks great, and we're being loaded right now, and we'll hopefully get out of here in a couple hours. And this load doesn't deliver in New Jersey until 4 days from now, which is a lot for us as a team. We'd be there in 3. So
That means we have time for a shower.
we have time to take a shower. Yeah, we won't have to go a whole week without a shower, or 4 days. But I'll call over to the 90 and see if they may want to take this early. A lot of times with when you have produce, the receiver will take the freight early. So we'll see. But it's gorgeous. As you know, Brooke likes to drive during the day, and I'm pretty much the nighttime driver. Hold on just a minute.
Just a sec.
Okay, we're back. Somebody came out, the guy on the load, and had a question, so we answered it, and we're back. And we were talking about being loaded up here. We're going to head back east, and we can probably do it in 3 days. I'll call the 90 and see if we can get in there earlier. But it's nice to have that extra time, so you don't have to just feel pressed in case anything happens or if you get into traffic or whatever. So we'll probably have a little more leisurely trip back home where Brooke will drive, or I'll drive, then Brooke will drive, and then we'll stop for 3 or 4 hours and get some sleep with the truck not moving, and take showers, eat, that kind of
Brush your
thing.
teeth.
Brush your teeth. Yeah, that's
I
important
go.
too.
He woke me up, and I don't know, it's like 4 in the morning, and we stop at some truck stop, and I go in to brush my teeth. I was like, I brush my teeth. I haven't brushed them since yesterday. I reach around and get all my stuff. I get it all the way in the bathroom, brush my teeth. I have my toothbrush and lip gloss. I grabbed the wrong thing. I still have the sleep, but nice try.
Might have tasted good. Was it flavored?
I just brushed them with water. I had to brush them, so.
Importante.
I brushed them later. It is important.
Good oral hygiene is very important. So, I feel them on the trailer. Feel it moving. That's a
It's
good
those
sign.
little things that you're grateful for, like showers and brushing your teeth when you're out here.
Yeah.
Coffee, good coffee.
But you know what? Here we are several months into it, and we're feeling good. We're enjoying it. We're not burned out. After home time, we look forward to coming back out. Yes, it is a sacrifice, so I would say it right up front. If you're watching our videos and you're thinking about trucking, think about it. We're very happy we made the decision, but it is a sacrifice. If you're somebody that needs to be at home regularly, or have family or possibly kids at home, or just some other reason where you have to get back there more often.
But we've seen our kids probably more being on the road than we did when we were at home.
Yeah, that's right. Our situation
Tell
is...
your news.
I will. Our situation is of course different. Our kids are grown. They live in different parts of the country. So the beauty for us is we get to stay on the road, and we pop in and see our kids whenever they'll have us, and whenever we're in their section of the country. So big news, and probably one of the most important things I wanted to tell you about is 2 things. First, our oldest son and his wife and family, both of my boys, as you know, are in the military. They're in the Marine Corps. And our oldest son, JD, and Johnny and their kids just relocated to Hawaii. They're doing a tour out there, and they're just loving it. I think they were there for a couple of weeks.
We're having a great time.
Before he had to check in, they gave him some extra time, and I think they've been all over the island, every beach. They like to do a lot of hiking, and so I'm going to include some of those pictures on here so you can see what they look like and what they're doing out there. But they're just having a great time. But the really big news is our youngest son, Jackson, who is 22 years old now, and his wife Alicia night? And he was like, I guess the baby was up just about every hour.
When you said second night,
Same thing.
it's
Baby's
like
up.
not so good.
Not so good.
Not
yeah.
so good.
Not so good. But that's part of it. The baby has to get used to being out of the womb in the world, and then mama and baby have to get that feeding regimen down. But one of the benefits of being in the military is that Jackson has 2 weeks of leave, and he can actually take a third week if he wants it. And so he's home, splitting the detail and the duties with Leisha so she can get her sleep, and they're getting settled in and starting
It's
to
only
figure
been a
out.
couple days.
It's only been a couple days, yeah. But what a tremendous blessing, and I can't impress on him how much it is that baby's looking. Well, but from day one, that baby's watching her parents to be a guide for her. Her eyes will be on Jackson and Alicia for her whole life, and what they do with her in these first 4 or 5 or 6 years will set the stage for the rest of her life. So he's blessed. We're happy for him, and we're going to try to get over there to see them just as soon as we can. We'll try to get a route into the D.C. area. Jackson's still at Quantico in the Marine Corps. He's an air traffic controller there.
And I just pointed out to David, so we're going to be in New Jersey when we come back this way. I said, it's not too far from Virginia.
It's not, and I want to see them, and they want us to come, but man, I found out last time that when you request to go to a special place because you want to do something, it kind of throws you off as far as your loads that you're getting, because you're not in a lane that you're going back and forth. It takes a few days to get established back and start making that good money again, but that's a sacrifice, and at some point over the next couple weeks we're going to make a trip down there. I say it's a sacrifice, it's a financial sacrifice, but we're looking forward to doing it. And Brooke said last night, she said, or maybe today, we don't want to go and really have them feel like they have to entertain us. We want them to go and get some sleep. We'll clean the house, we'll make some meals, I'll walk the dogs, Brooke will help with the baby. They're both going to be wiped out, so
We'd like to just pop in for a day or two and just give them a little sleep-in time and just a little time to just stare at the baby and get to know her a little bit.
Absolutely. We're all, it's an incredible blessing. We have now 5 healthy grandchildren and 4 healthy children, and we couldn't ask for more. So it's a good life, and out here on the road is a great life too. We're loving it. Love our fleet manager. We love Prime. Prime is the place to be. If you're looking at trucking, of course, do your homework and look around at all the different companies, and everybody's situation is different. So you may want to go to work for another company, but there are a lot of positives to coming to work for Prime, and I'd be happy to share that with you, either over the phone, or if you want to leave us a message here, either a message for Brooke or I. We try to answer all of the messages that are left here.
There's a lot of fabulous trainers at Prime too. So
Right.
even if you have a little bit of waiting time for your trainer, or you have waiting time for your truck, or whatever the circumstances are, it's really worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth the wait for the experience that you're going to have there and the training that you're going to get.
And we don't know trainers we don't really know trainers at Pittston or Salt Lake City, but if you want to go to Springfield, which from our opinion, is really one of the best places to be. The other places may be fine too, but we weren't there, so we can't speak to that. We have
talked to other people who have
had great
had
experiences there.
and
Yeah.
they had good experiences too.
Yeah, and they generally try to send you to wherever is closest for you to where you live. But I know people have had preferences, and they will let you come to any of the locations if you have a good reason. You have a specific trainer that you want or whatever. So I have a couple names, people that we had. Brooke and I had 2 different trainers, and they had 2 different approaches. So as I get to know you a little bit, I would tell you that I would recommend one or the other, but either one of them's fine. They both got us to pass the test, and then we got out on the road, and here we are several months later. We are truckers. Woohoo! Yeah, living the life out here. Look forward to your comments, guys. Please like the video, leave comments, and subscribe. Also ring the bell so that you'll be alerted when we produce new content, which we are woefully deficient in recently.
Well, we did that
friends, it's Captain Dave and Miss Brooke. It's now 6 days later. You know how it works out. We wanted to finish that video up back in Oregon, but as we were getting toward the end of it, the loader came out and said we were finished. So we had to hit the road. Man, getting out of that place was crazy. It was way up on a mountain, and Brooke was driving us out, and the road was about 10 feet wide with a big drop off. And so we took it down slow, and I'm going to include some video of that so you can see what it looked like. But we got out of there, made our way back across the country, all the way to New Jersey. We dropped off our load there, and then now we're back in Springfield, Missouri with a load.
We didn't make it to go see the baby.
We didn't make it to Virginia. We didn't make it to see the baby, the new baby yet, but we will. We've got it on our radar, and so we're in Springfield today, and we brought a load over this far. I had some things that I needed to do here in Springfield, which I wasn't thinking that it was the weekend, and the offices I needed to go to are closed.
We always end up here on the weekend when everything's closed.
Yeah.
And we can't get stuff done.
For whatever reason. So we're going to do some errands today. We're going to get this truck cleaned up. We're going to run a quick load over to Oklahoma tonight, and then hopefully get something back here into Springfield so that we can take care of those appointments that we have. Check our mail. Just do all the things that you need to do to keep us productive on the road. And then probably Tuesday or Wednesday we'll get a long load either to the East Coast or the West Coast, wherever they want to send us, but get back after it. You know, it's going great out here. We met one of our good friends that works here at the office last night, caught up, and we're gonna meet him and one of my trainers, Jacob, hopefully from JDQ Trucking, is here also in Springfield, and we're gonna go
going to your favorite.
We're gonna have my favorite Chinese buffet here in town today, so we'll hopefully make a little video of that and get that out and share it with you guys as well. But that's it. I want to end it here because I definitely want to get this video up today.
I want to video our day.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll add a little bit more with some video of throughout the day and include that as well. So we may have one more tag at the end. So in the continuing saga of this video,
we're gonna do errands today. We're gonna clean up the truck today, and we're gonna try and get something cooked today on the truck.
Oh yeah, we're gonna use the Instapot for the first time, and
first time on the truck.
Yeah, first time on the truck. And hey, I found this really cool website that I'm totally into, and this is no plug for anybody. I don't know the guy. There's no financial compensation or anything, but if you want to see something really cool, check out oh shoot, I don't remember the name of his site, but his name is Kent Rollins, Cowboy Kent Rollins, and he does range cooking. Like if you're out on a cattle drive, he cooks everything outside. He makes great meals, and so he gives you the recipes and shows you how he cooks them. So look up Kent Rollins on YouTube. He's quite entertaining. I think you'd enjoy it. Today I'm gonna try to make one of the recipes that he put on his website. So we may do a video of that too, because that'll be very interesting.
We're not doing it on the range. We're doing it in the truck.
We're gonna do it in the truck,
Instapot.
in the Instapot, and I think y'all would get a laugh out of that because I'm gonna do it, and this one will be looking over my shoulder saying, "Do this, do that, don't do that, don't make a mess." That'll be the main thing, which is virtually impossible for me to do. So I know we've jumped all over the place in the last few minutes, so we're going to stop right now. We're going to come back with a little bit more to add on. I'll get it edited tonight, and we hope to get this.
Where are we going right now?
Right now we're going to Aldi's.
Going to Aldi's.
And we're also going to recon the Chinese restaurant, because although we've been there, I don't remember the name, and I can't seem to find it by search. So we have to get the address to share with our friends so they can meet us there this afternoon. So a couple errands right now, then we're going to come back and continue on with the day. We'll catch up with you. Bye now.